time you must have sympathies for Burnley as well.
Yeah, totally. From Burnley's perspective, I thought they were well organised, brave. They played two up front. They had a go. Well drilled, looked strong, fit, and for long periods were in the game. Arsenal dug it out. After going down to 10 men, they showed really good spirit. And if you're going to challenge for the title, sometimes you don't play well.
And you have to win ugly, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's certainly how it was today.
Burnley will feel aggrieved, and indeed did. And we heard from Sean Dyche that for the second time in playing Arsenal this season, they've lost to a arguably late goal that should have been disallowed. Look at all of the controversial. We'll come to the red card in a minute. But as far as the penalties are concerned today, look at all of them in one go.
Well, we're just trying to sort of balance this out. Sean Dyche was unhappy with the decisions, but there were some favourable decisions. Look at this one here. Mustafi, Gray, for me that's a penalty. That's one that the officials have missed. And it's quite clear for me there. He's running away from goal, of course, but it's still a penalty. This one, there's definitely a penalty here. Coquelin takes down his man, Barnes. It's a little bit silly, a bit rash. I think he feels that he runs into him, but he's definitely made a foul. No problem. A lot of pressure on him, just goes down the middle. But that, at this stage, we've got them back into it. But this one here, I mean, I feel that Mee's unlucky there, really, because ordinarily you go with your foot there, he's got his eyes on the ball, but it's dangerous play. It has to be a penalty. He's kicked him in the face. But you have some sympathy, because if you look at it from here, from this angle, he's offside, clearly offside. No complaints with that.
And the linesman has a clear view of that.
Yeah, and it's that linesman that missed the actual penalty on Mustafi. But look at this for a player. I think this is his third penalty. He's missed the two previous ones. And he puts that down the middle with really no fear. And the stadium then was rocking. It's a good way to win a game there, because Arsenal, it would have been disastrous from the Premier League point of view that they didn't actually win today.
Two little bits from that then. First of all, you were saying that you were told if you're going to take a penalty really, really late on in the game, go down the middle.
Well, yeah, someone said to me years ago, if you get one really late in a big game, the goalkeeper will want to be the hero. There's no way he's going to stand still in the middle. He's going to choose a way to go, and it makes perfect sense. And obviously, that confirms it. But it's sensible, because the keeper will always want
to take some bottle, doesn't it? And
it does take some bottle, especially when you've missed two.
I think there's a thing with young goalkeepers want to do that big launch to try and save it, and it just goes down the middle and they look stupid.
Just on the defending bit, very quickly, was there any other way that Mee could have defended that? I mean, you point out his eyes are on the ball all the time as he's turning around.
I think he's unlucky, but, you know, listen, you see players get away with that, but the contact, the way the boots, the studs up, and it's quite high. I know he's coming down to it, but it's high enough for that to be a penalty.
Arsenal down to 10 because of Granit Xhaka sending off.
Well, where do we start with this one? I feel a little bit for him. Let me say that first and foremost, because I don't think he's being played in the right position. He's playing the holding role for Arsenal, where he does get isolated because of the way they play. And I think his strengths are his passing and his shooting, which are much better served higher up the pitch. When he plays in this role, as we will see in a second, he gets isolated. I mean, those stats are ridiculously bad. And he's becoming a liability. When he plays in this role, we will see that he gets himself in all sorts of problems because of his lack of athleticism. I mean, this technique he's found for trying to tackle, it's
early in the game, by the way, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a silly technique because he's off the ground. It's like a scissory kind. Him and Defoe had this ongoing battle. I'm not sure whether that's coincidental, but he keeps getting himself in these predicaments, and he will end up not playing because the other players will get sick of it. And too many times this season, he's cost them. The actual incident here is a no-brainer for the referee. He's left the floor, he's caught him. And Martin, to be honest, we've looked at a lot of stuff today, haven't we, which we'll see now, and he's getting himself to a point where Arsene Wenger will find it difficult to choose.
Well, it's a sort of scissor tackle. He is with the right kind of manager, though. I mean, this is Swansea at home again.
That's a tad unfortunate.
Same referee.
I mean, it's a succession of incidents that he's been involved in. There's another one here on Allen. And he just needs to clean up his act. There's no doubt. He's got the right manager. Listen, I had quite a few sendings off. And
this is against Bournemouth.
That is just, there's no need there. I think he's running after Fraser.
Well, here's the point then, because you talked about your sendings off, and so often on this programme, and on Saturday night's programme, and on Football Focus, and on Match of the Day 2 Extra, and on all the 5 live shows, people talk about Arsenal in the past, losing the grit, losing the hard man stuff, not having the leaders, not having the Vieiras and the Petits and the Keowns and the Bowles and the Adams. So now they've got somebody who puts his foot in and he's getting the odd red card.
That's not...
Well, that's not the odd red card. That is just ridiculous number of red cards.
Right.
He's getting the balance wrong, isn't he? Yes, of course, they want that physicality in the team, but they want him on the pitch. Listen, there was a time when I thought we were trying to win it back in the day with just 10 players. We were getting so many players sent off, but they can't afford to do that at the moment. This game was an easy win for Arsenal once they went 1-0 in front, and it became very difficult. And you can thank Arsene Wenger there was apologising. It's Xhaka that should be apologising for getting sent off.
And at 24, and in his first season in the Premier League, it does sound like I'm trying to make an excuse for him, but 24, his first season in the Premier League, there's time for him to adapt.
There is, but 24 these days isn't young. And
it's to some of us.
But there's 4 instances already this season. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying giving away a penalty is as bad as sending off. It's not. But I would hope someone like Martin Keown would say to me, listen, you've got to calm down. Who's saying that to him?
Well, that's the thing. I think there are a few around Mustafi, the centre-halves, both in his ear, but not enough. And it's just, he's got to learn himself, hasn't he? I'm sure he'll reflect on this, and he'll change. He'll have to change.
Defending on corners, then. Now you have looked at all of the Arsenal corners. So they had 5 in the first half. On 4 of them, Defoe was on the back post. On 1 of them, he wasn't. And you've looked at them for whether they're near in-swingers, out-swingers, near post, whether somebody goes short. There's no rhyme or reason for when he is on the back post.
This is early in the game, and predominantly they have a player on the back post, Defoe. For some reason, this is the goal they can see.
First corner of the second half.
Yeah, he's on the edge of the box. Now, whether that's been said to him by the manager, I don't think so somehow. You should have somebody on the back post. Everyone's marking. They have a majority of them marking. 3 or 4 are a zone. Well, I think it's not a bad system, this. But to leave that open, he could have just rescued that. And look, we're going to look at the marking here. Ward doesn't really get off the ground. Boyd, for me, should be inside that front post, back a little bit, and he heads that away. And it's a fantastic header, but if there's a player on the post, he simply clears that away. And look, lo and behold, this is what happened. The very next corner, Defoe, as if he sprung from nowhere, he's back on the post. Now, did he forget to be there? Or is it just one of those things he had licence to choose when he was there?
Which can happen, I suppose. I mean, you were often on the back post, were you? Did you ever forget to be there?
No, because I had a goalkeeper that wouldn't let me forget. Right. But that can happen, yeah. It shouldn't. I still can't believe that so many managers don't have somebody on the back post, because I would say that most seasons I would save 5 or 6 goals on the back post. It's always the place the ball drops in. So managers still in the Premier League not doing it is crazy to me.
Next, we're going to go to Stamford Bridge.